We humans are like walking, talking furnaces. We constantly produce heat to keep our internal temperature at a steady 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. This warmth isn't just a cozy byproduct of being alive, it's essential. Our bodies are finely tuned machines that rely on this internal heat to function properly. Think of it like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Our bodies need things to be just right. Too cold, and our cells struggle to work. Too hot, and our systems overload. Maintaining this delicate balance is the incredible process of thermoregulation. But how exactly do we generate this internal heat? It all starts with a process called thermogenesis, the fascinating way our bodies turn fuel into energy and, as a result, warmth. Thermogenesis is like striking a match inside our bodies, but in a much more controlled and continuous way, of course. It's the process of converting stored energy, primarily from the food we eat, into heat. Imagine a car engine burning fuel to power its movement. Our bodies work similarly, using calories from food as fuel to power our cells and generate heat in the process. This internal fire is what keeps us feeling warm and fuzzy, even on the chilliest of days. But thermogenesis isn't a one-size-fits-all operation. Our bodies have different ways to turn up the heat, depending on our needs, from the subtle hum of our resting metabolism to the intense burn of a strenuous workout. Metabolism is the grand orchestra of chemical reactions happening inside our bodies every second of every day. It's how we break down the food we eat, turning it into energy to fuel everything we do, from breathing to running a marathon. Think of it like this. When we eat a delicious meal, our digestive system acts like a disassembly line, breaking down the food into smaller and smaller components. These components, like carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, are like raw materials transported to the factories within our cells. Inside these cellular factories, these raw materials are further processed through a complex series of chemical reactions, ultimately producing energy in the form of a molecule called ATP, the body's primary energy currency. This process generates heat as a byproduct, much like a car engine gets hot when it's running. Section 4. The basal metabolic rate, our idling engine. Even when we're lounging on the couch, binge-watching our favorite show, our bodies are still hard at work. We're breathing, our hearts are beating, our cells are repairing themselves, all requiring a baseline level of energy. This baseline energy expenditure is known as our basal metabolic rate, or BMR. Think of BMR as the energy our body uses just to keep the lights on and the essential functions running. It's like an idling engine, consuming fuel even when the car isn't moving. Factors like age, gender, body composition, and genetics all play a role in determining our individual BMR. While we might not feel like we're burning many calories while at rest, our BMR accounts for a significant portion of our daily energy expenditure, contributing to our overall heat production. Section 5. Muscle power. Exercise turns up the heat. Remember that feeling of warmth that spreads through your body during a workout? That's your muscles generating heat as they contract and work. Physical activity is like turning up the thermostat on our internal furnace. When we engage in physical activity, whether it's a brisk walk or an intense gym session, our muscles demand more energy. This increased demand triggers a cascade of events, leading to a significant increase in our metabolic rate. As our muscles work harder, they burn more fuel, generating more heat as a byproduct. This is why we feel warm during exercise, and even warmer afterward, as our bodies continue to cool down. The more intense the exercise, the more heat we produce. Section 6. Shivering, an involuntary heater. Shivering, that uncontrollable trembling we experience when we're really cold, is our body's way of saying, "Brr, it's freezing! Time to crank up the heat!" It's an involuntary muscle contraction designed to generate heat and warm us up. Think of shivering as our body's emergency heating system. When our internal temperature drops, our brain sends signals to our muscles, causing them to rapidly contract and relax. This rapid movement generates heat, much like rubbing your hands together vigorously on a cold day. While shivering might not be the most comfortable sensation, it's a vital mechanism that helps prevent hypothermia and keeps us safe in cold environments.